and welcome to our new season of Showbiz Insider. I'm Zoe and this is of course Movida Dubai. Now, as always, we're going to bring you up to date with all of the latest entertainment news stories of the month, from celebrities in the city to our local talent. Now, February is all about the music and it's a great month for concerts in Dubai. And the 14th edition of the Dubai Jazz Festival really rocked the city. 35,000 fans, rock and roll legends. Here it is. Gear up for a musical marathon of greats. Toto, Santana and Sting, British rock band James, singer-songwriter David Gray, and Grammy-winning trumpeter Chris Botti. It was a lineup of legends. Veteran rockers and super nice guys Toto have collectively sold more than 40 million albums worldwide. They delivered a powerhouse performance and a rollercoaster ride of 4 decades of music. We caught up with the iconic guitarist Steve Lukather, master producer David Petch and keyboard genius Steve Porcaro to talk latest album and 40 years dominating the music biz.
Well, lyrically, we've lived the lives we've lived, and the older we get, the more experience you have, and the more meaningful things I think you have to say and want to say and communicate to everybody.
And creatively, like when you get together, what's the dynamic? Has it changed a lot over, as you said, 40 years?
We try to keep from punching each other out.
Yeah.
Really, pretty much.
We have a great shorthand. It helps us get right to the point.
We grew up together. We're childhood friends.
But it has definitely evolved over the years. It has changed, you know what I mean? It's changed.
You guys have worked with so many people over the years. What has been the most outstanding collaboration?
The most obvious one is probably Thriller with Michael Jackson. We were like all over that. He wrote Human Nature.
Yeah.
And we played on it. We were
played
all
on
over
it.
the record. I mean, that's the most famous. We got a lot of famous people.
Probably the biggest thing is the collection of artists they always bring here. It's really amazing. It's got a good mix. I think if you look at the crowd, it's something for everybody.
I'm a real big fan of Toto. Yeah, I've been listening for years, so yeah, I've really...
They've been around for 40 years, so what are your favourite Toto songs?
Obviously Africa, Rosanna, Hold the Line, yeah, them songs really, yeah.
Favourite ever Toto song?
Africa, it has to be. Africa. Absolutely, you're talking to the right people here.
Jazz highlight of the festival was the set from trumpeter Chris Botti and his band featuring Sting. Intoxicating and haunting, it's the kind of sound that gives jazz its soul. Botti and classical violinist Caroline Campbell were passionate and spellbinding. And singer Cy Smith brought the stage to life with a rendition of In the Wee Small Hours. Transcendent musicians who have intense relationships with their instruments. Great to have you here.
It's great to be here.
I'm just having the best morning ever watching Sting, Chris Botti sound check this morning.
Yep.
If you could just take us back to the very beginning and tell us why the trumpet? What was it that drew you to that instrument over anything else when you were so young?
Well, I think it's certainly the power of television when you see, when I was a kid in the United States, The Johnny Carson show was very big, the Tonight Show, and they had this fantastic trumpet player, Doc Severinsen, playing. So that's what I initially saw when I was 8 years old, started playing the trumpet. And then by the time I was 12, I heard Miles Davis's tone, his tone on his trumpet on the My Funny Valentine album, and I was struck like a lightning bolt and thought, I want to play trumpet for. I didn't think about all this, but I knew then that I wanted to play trumpet and play music for the rest of my life. Whereas the other great trumpet players as well of the time, or slightly before, Louis Armstrong, Maynard Ferguson, Doc Severinsen, played, Dizzy Gillespie played with a lot of, joy and projection, and Miles made it like this
more kind of
melancholy and more intimate and sad and beautiful in a way. And it's through that melancholy that I found joy in music, and I, in that way, in a lot of other styles of music too.
Is it like with dancing, with ballet, you have to practice every single day? So the trumpet is like an extension of your body, really?
Yeah, there isn't a day, there is not a day that goes by that I'm not practicing 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day. It's just the way it is.
Now, obviously, you're playing with Sting today. What's your experience working with him? You guys have had a long history together. Yeah,
so in 1999, I had already at that time released 3 or 4 albums by myself, and Sting and I were becoming friendly, and he asked me, he said, look, Chris, I think what would be good for you is to take a couple of years off of your solo music with your band and join my band, and I promise you that I'll break the sound of your trumpet to the whole world.
Of course, delivered his own brand of sophistication and professionalism as he cruised through old hits Field of Gold, Roxanne, and Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic.
Well, I'm just looking forward to Sting.
Favorite Sting song?
Fields of Gold.
Englishman in New York.
Fields of Gold, possibly. Maybe some police songs if we're lucky.
Jazz is just like a cool event, it's to get away from the normal party life of Dubai into something a little bit more nostalgic.
Guitarist, pianist, and indie rock singer David Gray is best known for his album White Ladder from 1998, when hit Babylon became the anthem of the era in the UK.
Now, I've been talking drunken gibberish.
It wasn't easy, and even with White Ladder, I don't think when we'd made it, we thought it was going to be a big success. No one was telling us that was going to be the case. And I see these artists coming through these days that get the sort of nod from the industry and from the media that they're going to be the next big thing. There was never a moment like that in all of my early career. So it kind of happened by accident. There's something magical happened about making White Ladder, as I said.
I'm obsessed with artistic process and inspiration, but what comes first, his lyrics or the actual musical composition?
It's writing music. I mean, that's a bit vague. I always feel like I'm just, something else is just coming into view, a new kind of music. And I'm about to break through into something new. That's my sense of writing and making. I'm challenging myself to do something slightly different, and I've got the sense that something's about to happen, and I love that feeling of something becoming something.
How would you describe
describe David Gray? I mean, he's such an amazing musician, right?
He's amazing. I feel like I grew up with him. So yeah, he's my angry walking song man.
The singer-songwriter is a dying breed, and he's amazing. He's the best in the world.
Manchester outfit James delivered a tight set of trademark Britpop and post-punk songs. Their hit singles Sit Down and Come Home rocked the crowd, with lead singer Tin Booth jumping down and crowd surfing amongst the audience. We caught up with the rock star himself to talk about the new album, love, death and deeply personal experiences.
The new album, Girl at the End of the World, working with the same producer we worked on for Le Petit Mort, the last one. Quite dancey, quite groovy, which is not our usual area.
Why did it become that way?
We recorded in Scotland, and it was minus 10 degrees some days, and to keep warm, we'd speeded up the drum machine, kept us moving.
Makes sense. What about lyrically? What are the songs about? Is there a theme this time?
Song to song, really. There's two songs probably continuing from Le Petit Mort, which are about death. But kind of uplifting songs about death.
But that was the same as on Le Petit Mort. There was always that kind
so
of
there's two
uplifting
songs that
feel.
almost carry that on.
Right.
And then everything else, like love, the mania of love, like falling in love when it's like a bomb that goes off in your life.
What's easier to write about, falling in love or the pain of like that?
Well, the reason I wrote about death was because my mum died and my friend died, and but my mum died in my arms, and it was really beautiful. So it kind of, the record was really uplifting in a strange, typical James paradoxical way.
The event finale saw legendary guitarist Carlos Santana return to Dubai. 5 decades after that breakout performance at Woodstock, the Latin rockers are still wowing fans with their newest sound and style. Carlos's trademark high-pitched guitar and larger-than-life stage presence completed the bill of outstanding performances, an exhilarating climax to an incredible music fest. Actually more of a rock fest than a jazz fest, but definitely one of the musical highlights of the year. Up next, guys, we catch up with up-and-coming film talent with the Original Narrative Film Fest.